Welcome, all who wander. You have found your way through misfortune, or maybe through fortune itself, who knows these days, to the Battle Axe RPG YouTube channel, which will be hosting the collection that I will be calling the Darkness Files, where I, a person who has, let's go with too much RPG experience, talks about a system that I have less experience with. That being Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Apocalypse, maybe some Mage the Ascension. Who knows, maybe I'll go really crazy and go into some of the other games. I'm still not quite sure what I plan to do here. Anyway, I'll talk about, some basic stuff within the system. A few times I'll just be telling stories, both from the perspective of characters in the setting and from players and other people I know in the community. Now, let's get this out of the way. I was heavily inspired to do this by the Lore by Night podcast, 25 Years of Vampire the Masquerade, and the Primogener, however you pronounce his name. They were some of the biggest inspirations. Outstar from the World of Darkness, actually it's just Paradox now, proper, also big inspiration. Love her work, just wanted to get that out there. So, today I'll be talking about how I got into the hobby. Not of RPGs, that's a different story, but how I got into World of Darkness particularly, being one of my 3 favorite types of games. The other is I'm fairly fond of... Okay, where did I put it? There they are. I am fairly fond of Burning Wheel, so look forward to maybe a series on me talking about that. And... third place would have to be a tie between the good old reliable that is just D&D. Because frankly, it doesn't matter how much I would like to pretend I didn't love that game. And especially because I don't support Hasbro as a whole. But, it was my first RPG. I actually started... I know, babyface I am. I started in AD&D, surprisingly enough. And then I jumped straight to 5th edition, because that's what I had. I had some AD&D books, and I picked up a lot more. So just tell me if you'd like me to do a classic review. That would be something I've been interested in. Anyway, back to my story of how I got into World of Darkness. Well, I've been obsessed with lore, storytelling, since I was little. So, I actually got into World of Darkness lore before I got into the games themselves. And I've always been into vampires and, edgy stuff that, goths and the immortals and all that. But I actually found vampire through, ironically enough, the Primogen and him talking about lore of other games. And I started watching a few videos. I believe the first video I watched on Vampire the Masquerade was actually the Banu Hakim or Asimite, I forget what they were called at the time, video. Then I got more interested in the lore, so I looked up some different places. There I ended up with the Lore by Night podcast guy, who definitely gave me a good... he whetted my taste buds, so that's when I finally just went off the deep end and decided 25 Years of Vampire the Masquerade would be where I got into this. Also, V5 was coming out, so I picked up a lot of the V5 books. I actually believe I have all of them. I'm not going to check that, but I definitely got really interested, especially in the Book of Nod, which led to the creation of my first major character, because I like to make characters. That's just how I work as a person, is that I make characters to understand the system. So, I did. And I made Lord Levi Blackburn, a Ventru, which he did not stay for long. Lord Levi Blackburn became a lot of things. He actually went from... Okay, so first thing I did was that I made him actually V20, oddly enough, before I made him V5, because I didn't have V5 to start out with. Though I do actually not have the V20 core book in physical. I know I'm such a blasphemer, but I got interested. So, I had the idea for, what if I made, like, a vampire who was, like, from the Inquisition? Well, at the time I didn't know what the Gladius Day was. And from how I phrased that, you just figure out, and now I do. So, yeah, that was fun. One moment. Anyway, so, that led me to having the idea, I'm going to make a Gladius Day vampire. And you might be wondering, why was the first clan you chose Ventru? I like being a ruler. They actually seemed to be the most established in the setting, so I went with them. Now, I mentioned he didn't stay Ventru for long. I actually changed him to being a caitiff. Actually, after I read up on, what a caitiff is. And I then had the idea, well, let's make him a Diablerist. Because he hunted vampires. Why not have him drink said vampires? You can see how this spiraled quickly into me basically making the most edgy vampire possible. So, I then redefined him. I evened a lot of things out, actually, about him. And, well, anyway, as I was learning a lot about the different games in the World of Darkness, another one really got my... What's a nice way of putting this? Another one of the games really got me interested. And that was actually Hunter. I don't know a lot of other people who like Hunter the Reckoning, but it's what I like. Because I always just really like the idea that I'm a normal person in this world made of monsters. I know it's kind of evident also through the first character I ever made, because, well, he's a giant raging asshole who's a hunter of vampires. Anyway, so this is a rambling get to know me thing as I'm setting up the beginning of the series. Also, this is me trying out a new thing. I normally just use this channel as a VODs channel for our Twitch. So, this is a non-scripted video, obviously. And, who knows, maybe I'll get a little more inspired by Wendigoon and go off on some other topics. I'm more than willing to. I could do like some book reviews. That'd be fun. I want to do some more stuff with this channel other than just making it a VODs channel. But World of Darkness stuff will come first. So, yeah. I know I've been rambling for a bit. And more video games, by the way, playing into Pride, because if you couldn't tell from the flag behind me and the ring on my finger, yeah, this motherfucker ace. And I will be also bringing that perspective to Vampire. Because I'm going to actually... You know what? The first episode in the series is going to be in the character of Levi, just him telling his life story. I think that's a good idea. Well, now that I've said all of this shit, I've got to upload this and see if it gets any traction. Memento Mori, I guess? I don't have a scripted outro.